everybody. My name is Anna Zača and I'm the curator of Short RIGA, the section dedicated totally to short films at RIGA International Film Festival. And today I will talk to the directors from International Competition program. And these will be two competitions, as you probably know if you're watching, on the Verge and That Girl. And I'm very happy to have 4 directors here with me. And yeah, I would like to start with the program on the Verge and actually, most importantly, with the film done by Cora Cruz. And it's called Naranjas. Hi, Cora. Naranjas or
I'm very
oranges?
happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here. And I'm a little nervous because my English is not perfect at all, but I'm going to try.
Well, we can try to help if it's necessary to translate a word or something.
Okay.
I would like to find out a little bit about your background because this is the first time when I hear your name. Some of the other directors I have seen already before that are in the competition. So how long have you been doing films?
Sorry, repeat me?
How long have you been doing films?
Okay. I made my first short film in 2015 in Tenerife, the island where I'm from, right before moving to Madrid, where I live now. And the film is called La Isla Invertida, the inverted island. And if someone is interested in checking it, it's on YouTube.
Oh, perfect. You should put the YouTube link in comments afterwards in Facebook
Okay,
at
perfect.
this conversation. Okay, so the film Naranjas or Oranges is shot in Madrid, right?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay, and so because it is in this film, it seems like it's on the verge of something that would actually happen in between them, but nothing happens at the end, and it's
yeah. Naranjas is based in a short story my mother wrote maybe 15 years ago, but I feel the plot and the characters feel still really current to me, and it's something about generational depression. Maybe we are not aware of it, but it's in the air, it's everywhere.
And you were saying that your mother wrote the story, right?
Yeah.
15 years ago. Have you been
15 years ago, maybe.
Oh,
Or more, I don't know.
have you used any other stories of her? Have you used any other stories by her, or this is the first time?
I have a project that she wrote. A project, but it's not filming yet.
Oh, okay. So let's hope we see more stories by her, done by you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the actors and the characters themselves? Can you tell a bit about the work with the actors for this film?
Yeah. The main character is played by Ignatius Farray, a very well-known Spanish comedian. He is from Tenerife Island, just like me, and also lives in Madrid. And he usually plays very histrionic and crazy roles. That's what the audience is used to seeing him do. But I had a feeling that could be a great dramatic role, and I was wrong. He's brilliant. Then Ophelia's father is played by Alfonso Delgado. I first saw him in a Christmas lottery spot that went viral in Spain, and I could think when I saw the spot, oh my God, he's a really good actor. And when casually meet him, it made me very happy to accept him work with me in Naranjas. And finally, the role of Ophelia is me. I'm Ophelia, and I was scared to be both an actress and director at the same time, but it's very important character for me and my mom, and I did it. I like acting, but I think I'm better director than actress.
Well, I still enjoyed the film. Can you tell about your mother's story and the film a little bit more for those maybe who have not understood it, even though it seems quite clear and quite, I would say it's quite an intimate meeting of two people, and it's a very gentle depiction of a friendship. Am I correct? Or tell me more about this motivation or the story behind.
Yeah, the film is about generational depression. We may be not aware of it, but I say before, it's in the air, it's everywhere. And it's about a generation that is now in their 30s, 40s, in a limbo between the new and the old paradigm. They are not like her parents. They can't, or they don't want to have a stable job for life, marriage or family, but they are not yet upcoming generations, millennials or Gen Z, born to the ability to embrace no future war or constantly adapting to change. The characters in Naranjas are somewhere between embracing the old ways like Claudio does, and the frustration to trying to keep up the new ways and having to live the illusion of a fake freedom feelings like Ophelia.
Wow. Okay, thank you. And I guess, why did you choose this title?
Naranjas.
Mm-hmm.
Because Claudio smell in the climax of disaster, Claudio smell like something sweet, something like naranjas, and he is very stressed, and he say, do you smell like orange? And when he sorry, okay. When he discovered where from the smell is the trash truck. Do you understand me?
Yes, yes.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. And this feeling contradiction is when he start to cry. I don't know if I explained.
Yes, you did, and I think it's also a good teaser for the other filmmakers who are here to watch the film, because okay. I know that they haven't seen it yet, but now I believe you have teased us, and thank you, Cora. Thank you for your answers. And now I will go on. Please stay with us because maybe there will be more questions from the public, but we'll see. But now I would like to continue with Max Sobol and the film It's Not Autumn Yet.
Hello.
Hello, Max. So it's for me, I believe it would be, and also for others, it would be interesting to hear how did this project came to life, because it's a collaboration between you and Brownie Bryony Perkins, and I understand she's the writer and also a choreographer and an important creative part of the film. Please elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So Bryony and I have known each other since we were kids, basically, a long time. And then we both moved up to London, and we spent years, maybe a decade, saying we should make a film together. We should make a dance piece together. She was a contemporary dancer and I a filmmaker. And so eventually, after 10 years of saying we were going to make a film, we finally decided to get together. And we were doing rehearsals. We had hired a studio space, which you can see in the film now. And we began doing rehearsals, and I was just filming her as a way to understand, having not done much dance film before, how do you film dance and what does that look like on camera and what can you bring to dance by filming it? And then suddenly our real lives started to mix into the dance piece. Originally it was supposed to be purely visual, just almost like a music video. And then we had all our conversations about what was going on in our lives suddenly mixed into the story, and I was filming anyway, and then it kind of became this kind of constructed documentary. We created a story that expressed what was going on in our lives and kind of fitted the dance pieces into it. So it was a very kind of organic, natural thing that developed. And the story is kind of, some of the things are really what was happening to her at that moment in her life, and some other things that were happening to me at that moment in my life. So it's a kind of odd mixture between, you know, a documentary and a musical somehow in the end.
Okay, and maybe you can tell about the editing and the choice of imagery that you had, because for me it seemed like a crucial part. It felt very contemporary, a little bit more social media influenced type of editing. Can you tell about these choices a little bit?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about the social media connection, but I guess it has very much that the way that film goes out over social media has probably naturally changed the way we all think about moving image. Yeah, I mean, essentially, in the beginning, we had shot every single scene in the film as both a dance and a dialogue scene. And so the intention was that we would kind of mix them together. And you would see those scenes play out, you know, merging between the dance and the dialogue. But actually, as we progressed, it became more like a normal short film. But those kind of visual elements felt like they were important in expressing psychologically where the character was at. And, you know, it's sort of, in a way, it's supposed to feel like it's a look inside her brain, you know, and she is this very creative person. She's a dancer. And so we just kind of put that on the screen, how she thinks and how she feels. You know, she expresses that through dance. So we want to see that.
And there is one more detail. While we were selecting the films for this competition, we had quite different opinions on this one from the committee, depending on the person age, the age of the person, or the background, whether those were creative people, kind of got along with this film very well, and the youngest selection committee members were like, "This is about me," and yeah, they loved it from their first sight, and the older generation was a bit annoyed by the main character. So after you have finished the film, so can you tell us who? I understand that this is your friend and a person you know for 10 years, but in the film, who is the character? Where is she in her life? And I mean, maybe can you tell her characteristics? Like, is she the one who is always giving up and then trying again, or like, can you tell a little bit about this woman? Have you created a new character, or it is actually the choreographer, Miss Perkins?
Yeah, that's very interesting that you say that. I mean, I think the character honestly is just as much me as it is the choreographer, but then ultimately it becomes a new third person. But at that particular moment, when we first began developing the project, the both of us had this kind of feeling that everybody around us was being very sensible and settling down, just as she is happening to her in the film. And we were still pursuing these kind of creative passions, creative dreams that hadn't necessarily made us kind of rich and famous, but it was really important and crucial to us to keep doing those things. So I think we were trying to work out in our heads, you know, does it make sense? Is it justified to keep pursuing these slightly naive dreams when everything is getting very serious around you? You know, I think it's a funny thing, because it's something for me that I don't have a choice about whether I do this or not. I mean, I make more kind of, you know, commercial work to pay the rent, but I'll always do stuff like this. And so, yeah, I guess it was just us trying to muddle our way through that, you know. And I think often creative people, we're less practical, we're less targeted about what we're doing with our life. And so this character is someone who's drifted along through life, but at the moment when things start to get serious and you have to make choices, am I gonna have a baby, am I gonna buy a house, she's suddenly completely thrown out by that, because that's not how she's lived her life up to that point. And maybe for a more grounded person, that might seem like she's just being silly, but that's what we were going through at the time.
Perfect. Thank you. I believe at this point I don't see any questions, but maybe later on there will be more. So I guess thank you, and thank you for the film. Do not disappear. And I would like to move on next to Anna Holmgren with the film Nuit, or I translated it Night, but maybe I shouldn't. Please do tell us, how did you find the main character, and how did you start to work on this project?
Yeah, I found the main character the first time I met her was because my husband he and his friend had met her at a bar and followed her home because she needed assistance. And I knew that he regularly went to this blind lady. I hadn't met her, but once on her birthday, I accompanied him there. And it was slightly different from what I expected. I knew she was blind, but I didn't know how that was, how that made her world look in a way. So I started visiting her as well. And eventually I asked her if we should make a film. And she really wanted that. And originally she said that she wanted to make like a anti-bimbo rock and roll documentary. So that was her intention. But then, yeah, so that's how it started.
And has she seen? No, she hasn't seen.
No,
But
but she knows everything. The thing is, she knows everything that I've done, because during the time I've been filming, I've been telling her, now I'm filming your ear, now I'm filming your... So she knows everything. The thing that has been difficult for me as a director is to... She has said that I can film anything. It's no problem whatsoever, whatever is visible, because she thinks that people are putting too much weight into what they see, and they need to see things from new perspectives, obviously. The difficult thing was that she was very private with her voice, though. She did not want to share her thoughts with her own voice. So I was allowed to film anything, but I wasn't allowed to pick up any other sound than, except for the only one that she decided on, the song in the end.
have you heard her singing before, or?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. So she actually was singing on the baptism of my first son. So
It's a beautiful choice to put her singing, or her opening of her voice, and opening up her personality at the end, and I believe it's a very strong point of the film. And did you know that this is going to be in the film, that you will convince her to sing before?
Well, it was kind of a process. Everything I knew I wanted her to sing, because that's kind of where she's the most herself. And but during the time we were filming, we didn't really know how it was going to end up. It was more like playing together and doing things. And now I'm filming this, I don't know what we're going to use. But eventually, but I knew that she was going to sing all along, but that it was going to be in the end, I didn't know that, because one of the things that isn't in the film is a film clip where she's 14 years old and is singing on national Norwegian television. Well, so that was, in the beginning, I had them both as a contrast, because the 14-year-old girl was something completely different from the older one, but I ended up just using her here and now instead of the old clip as well.
And can you tell me about the audience reactions? Because I know you have had cinema screenings. I wanted to screen the film last year already, but I had to wait. Yeah. So it was in Göteborg.
Yeah.
And can you tell me about that a little bit? And has she been part of these screenings in some way?
Yeah. And she doesn't want to be that. She wants to be private. So that's why her name isn't put out there either. But it's been kind of interesting, because I noticed after the first screening that some people think that I made a rather extreme film. I mean, it is an extreme situation, and I haven't had any. I felt that it's necessary to. She thinks it's okay, and I think it's interesting to actually show it with all this brutality. But some people think that maybe I have used her, or in some other way made some sort of ethical problematic decision in doing this film, but other people have been really, really positive. So I noticed that this is a film that has been getting divided reactions. Yeah.
Yes, but maybe you can tell us why did you decide to make this film at the end? Like, why is it important to show also a very closed person with a bit disturbing life surroundings? Why do you think it's important?
Yeah, I think it's really important, because me and my husband is also following her to shop and things like that, and we notice that she's excluded from very many parts of society just by the way she looks. And how do we judge people and based on appearance, and because she's obviously she doesn't understand this, and that's both a question on sight and her physical disabilities, but also a question of her not being taught by her parents how this works, and that's another story. But I think still that when she has grown up to become this person, it's really shocking to see how people treat her and how lonely she gets just by. I've seen taxis turn away. I've tried to go eat with her, but we're not allowed to come in. So I think that this is a really important film in that sense, that it actually shows that we have so many prejudices against people that doesn't play the rules of the seeing people.
Thank you. And yeah, it's a beautiful answer, and I hope that that this film is going to serve its purpose for years on. And I must say, I enjoyed the film very much, and also because of your choice of the camera work, and maybe can you tell about the style of the image that you have chosen, and yeah, the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, that was because I've been doing all the camera work except for some pictures, but and that was kind of, as I told you, it was kind of a world we went into together, she and I. So as I said, I didn't really know how it was going to end up, but I was in it very organically. So when I saw something that interested me, I asked her if it was okay that I filmed it, and she said yes, and we played, and I told her, and she said, what about if I do this? So how it ended up looking is like, it was the way that situation and relationship made it look, in a way.
Yes, but you chose some close-ups, and
Yeah.
so you wanted to be very tactile. Well, at
Yeah.
least I felt like I'm in the room, so
Yeah.
yeah, and that was the reason. And then at some points, okay, so it was the tactility was on purpose, and it worked perfectly. And then there were some blurs, if I am correct, and dreamy-like visions. Or what was it all about?
I don't really know what parts you talk about, dreamlike parts. Are you talking about the situation in the film where I describe her dreams?
No, I was trying to refer to some of the images that for me seemed blur, like not clearly depicting reality, and because of like a filter or a blur on the image. That was something.
I think it was because she has to be able to hear when people walk in and out of the room. She has like this curtain made of wooden pearls. So I'm filming her from behind the curtain. So that's a blur. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well,
the thing about this film is that everything is, except for some of the voices from people that come into the house, because she didn't want me to use Norwegian language. So that's why we have the voices in English. But otherwise, everything is real. I haven't set up anything or added something. This is her reality. It is about my view on that reality, obviously. Yeah.
And yes, it was a beautiful possibility for me to also get into this reality, and I believe also all the audience that have seen the film appreciated it as well. And thank you for the film, and thank you for taking part in our competition. I guess okay, at this point no questions, but we could continue with Irene, Segovia, Ponce, and you are also the actress in your film. So both of you, Cora Cruz, and why did you choose to become the main actress in your film?
Well, first, thank you so much to being the film in your festival. I'm very happy for this. And well, when I was studying in Cuba, my tutor was introduced us to directing. No, sorry, for show us to directing. Put in the acts through acting. We put in the actor place the first four, no, and I like it so much. This happened, and when I'm doing the writing my short, I was really depressed in this time, and I'm trying to put my feelings into the screen. And now my tutor said to me, "You can go further. You can go one step more further, and you can act in this short that I'm speaking about in this moment." And in the first time, I think, oh, my team was fantastic. It's like my family, and I think, okay, why not? I can do it, because I'm thinking in shooting. But after the post-production is another thing, and I have to see me all time, because the character is all times in the screen, and it's difficult to empathize, for me to empathize with the character, and then I do the distribution, and I only have photos of my face, and this is no very well, but I like it so much, and I would love to perform for another person, for not do the post-production, but I like. The shooting was very well, but
how much improvisation was taking place during the shooting of the film?
well, it's not. There are a bit improvisation in the days before shooting. We change a lot of the speaking. We're doing shortest, but during the shooting is not a lot of improvisation. But in the editing, when I write the screening, I try to be more narrative than the short now is, because all the thing that I try to make more narrative, the depression, is not very truthfully. And in the editing, in the final, in the post-production, we take off and we keep with the more truth for me for this moment, no? And yeah, with the words, yes, with the words we don't say the words that like the screen, but more or less there are with our planes. Sorry for my English. It's very...
I understood everything. It's very good that you speak slower, because then now we can slowly follow, and it's perfect. Don't worry. Okay, so I was wondering also about the story. It is probably a bit complicated for you to tell, because you are also the main actress, and but could you tell if it's autobiographical type of a script that you wrote? It was about your own depression, or you were trying to put into this also observations from your surroundings, friends, and yeah, can you tell about that a little bit?
In really, the only thing that is fiction in the film is that I'm physiotherapeutic, no? I'm a medical care or something that is not well understanding, but I'm studying filmmaking, no? Not studying another thing. But it's the one thing. The other is very little things, but there are my problems, como my problems with the lovers, or they're the thing that I spend a lot of time thinking how to express, no? And another persons, I speak a lot with another persons, with my teachers and college, trying to put into more understanding for their others, no? Like the feeling, trying to put in science photos, and I have help, but the feelings are mine. It's not for the other person, because that is very little short. It's very little that we are telling. It's only few moments.
Okay, thank you. Lucky that I have some questions from friends sent to my phone, and basically it's I guess there are two questions for Anne and one for each one of you. Is like, when do we see your features, which is weird because I believe making short films is also a great way to go. But so basically I guess it's about your next project. Are you working on a feature, any one of you? And yeah, I would dare to correct this question, like feature or a short. What is your next project? To all of you. Can we start with Cora?
Okay. Well, I have many projects, but I need the production. But one of this is Todo lo Bello, and is Naranjas become the first episode to the series, the TV show I want.
This is perfect. I guess this is what the person asking was willing to see more Naranjas. Okay, and can I ask Max, what are you working on at this, not at this moment, but in film?
Yeah, I have a couple of longer projects that I'm working on. I'm working on a feature film about a couple who are trying to get pregnant, and they find out the guy is infertile, and so they invite their gay best friends over to ask them if they'll be sperm donors. But as the evening kind of kicks off, they discover their own corpses upstairs in the apartment, and it's basically about them trying to kind of hide the bodies and get on with the evening because it's too important. So it's a kind of a black comedy. And I have a few other projects, but that's the one I'm mainly focusing on at the moment. I'm trying to get some funding, but it's sort of, I've already made a feature film which came out in 2014, I think. And I find it's very difficult to get money, basically. You know, like, it's one of those things where I think until you're in part of that world, then it's very hard. You feel very much on the outside of it. And despite having made one myself, I'm still struggling.
Thank you, Max. Did you make the film with your real name, Max Sobol? This is how we can find it, the 2014 film.
Yes, yeah, it's called You, Us, Me.
Okay. Thank you. Anne, there was two questions for you. First, what are your next projects? So basically, when we can see something new from you. And the second was, is the main character performing somewhere?
Yeah, I would love for her to do that, but she isn't. But she has a collection of songs that she's repeating, so she hopes to find somewhere to perform. Yeah. And that would be great for all of us because she's a wonderful singer. And the other question is that I'm also working on a feature film, and I'm at the script part of it, and also looking forward to the impossible struggle of financing it. So yeah, and that is a romantic film about death, I would say.
So we still have few years ahead to see something new, and no short films on the way.
Yeah, no, I actually have a short film that is coming as well, but that soon is to be ready. But that is a part of a British film about Nordic mythology. So I've made like a musical Sami myth because I'm Sami. So that's a very special project. But that's the next project that is coming up. Otherwise, I hope that I'll start with the feature film soon.
Thank you. And Irene, can I ask you, what is your next project?
Now at the moment I have 2 projects. I have finished a short film documentary that is in post-production, is not a little bit for finish. The sound and color and the little things for edition. And this is speaking of stereotype of feminine and self-esteem of different women, and it's very sensitive short. I disassociate the hair and the eyes sorry, and it make a little sensitive, little short. And now I'm developing a feature film documentary in Andalusia. And with the COVID, they are changing my thinking, my way of projecting, and I'm going to have a camera for take my first steps. Before COVID, I have a photograph that traveled Brazil to Andalusia, and now we have changed the planes, and I, in this moment, looking for a camera and thinking and writing the first step.
Thank you, Irene. I hope to see all of your new projects and the projects in years that will come later on, both Cora series, to features, and then documentaries and short films. I really, really love your work, and thank you for applying and giving your films after a demand to our festival. I guess that's it. I don't have any more questions from the audience, so it's the middle of the day. I guess we can all go and have a lunch. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.